I just wanted to remind our viewers that in August 2019, the Federal Health Minister, Greg Hunt, asked the Royal Australasian College of Physicians to conduct an inquiry into the safety and ethics of medical treatment given to children wishing to change their gender. Now, as far as I know, we've never seen the results of that inquiry, which certainly wasn't public, if indeed it ever took place. Greg Hunt has declined calls for a national public inquiry into this critical issue. Children, do you mind, wanting to change their gender? Now, more than 200 doctors have expressed concern about the effects of so-called puberty blocker drugs, which may adversely affect bone density, cardiovascular function, and even cognitive ability. Now, the identity politics lobby has dominated this debate. Common sense, though, is reasserting itself. There's a national survey which has found a majority of voters want parents to have a veto over gender fluidity. These are classes at school. It's an offshoot of the Safe Schools program. Now, I don't know if parents know that there are gender fluidity classes. Do all parents know actually what gender fluidity is about? Yet these classes teach children they can change their gender. 88% of coalition supporters and 72% of Labor loyalists agree parents should have the right to know what is being taught in the classroom and be free to pull children out of such classes. Even 46% of the Greens voters have backed parents' rights over gender fluidity teaching. But cop this. I mean, did you know this? Between 2014 and 2018, 2,414 Australian children, some as young as 9, were referred for gender reassignment treatment. Now, of course, for those who, through consultation with parents and appropriate doctors, have a provable need for transition, I'm sure we would support meeting that need. These are very, very difficult circumstances. But beyond that, this critical and sensitive issue requires whole of society consideration. Schools can't be left on their own. Indeed, I would argue it is not the province of the classroom. This is a matter for parents and families, let alone ever contemplating that schools could exclude the views of parents. The figures are such, I think, that a broad inquiry is urgently needed. I'm saying this to remind you that in August last year, the Federal Health Minister, Greg Hunt, asked the Royal Australasian College of Physicians to conduct an inquiry into the safety and ethics of medical treatment given to children wishing to change their gender. Peter, what do you reckon has happened to this critical inquiry?
Look, I don't know what's happened internally in the coalition for Greg Hunt not to pursue this. I don't think when Parliament comes back that he's going to get away with it. I mean, there are legitimate cases. You know, Kate McGregor is a friend of both you and me, and we see that as a legitimate case. But Kate McGregor was well and truly an adult when she went down this path. We're talking about young people here, children.
Yes.
We're talking about classes in school. We know in Victoria when they changed the gender laws, you don't require any assessment by a psychologist, any intervention from a medical doctor in any way. You can wake up tomorrow. Yeah. I can wake up tomorrow and decide I'm Peter, not Peter. Yeah, but Peter, and that changes in effect for 12 months.
Yeah, but Peter, do parents know that children are being taught in classrooms as young as 9 and 8 that they can change their gender? I don't think parents are aware of this.
I don't think parents appreciate that not just that simple proposition, but they're not just taught that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 genders. I think there's something like 53 genders under the auspices of the Safe Schools program. And I mean, this is just getting out of control. And it diminishes the legitimate cases where people have, you know, real quandaries over their gender. But we're talking about 1% or less of the population, and particularly for young people, Alan, once they go down the path of medical intervention and they might change their mind, there's no way back.
Irreversible, no way back. Parents, asks the schools a couple of questions.